Hey royalties, it's your girl Sakina K. Golding. I'm back at it again with a new podcast. Just going over some social issues, looking over what's going on currently in the news, in the world, in the media, pretty much. Just a quick disclaimer, this is not to offend anybody. It's only for empowerment, and that's the only thing that I want you to take away from this podcast. Recently, there has been a killing that has gone global with Mr. George Floyd. Now we see there that he was suffocated, and just like Eric Garner, he said he couldn't breathe. And it seemed to be the repeated thing that we see when it comes to police brutality is either we're getting beaten, shot, or we're being stifled to death. And it makes me think, what can we do to enact a change that we need in this society in order for us as Black people to flourish? And the truth is, we first have to identify ourselves. Who are we? Where do we come from? What is our origin? And until we can do that, we're going to always be the victims of another race. Right now in America, we're not the majority. We're the minority. We're only 14% of the population. So what impact can 14% of the population do, you ask? Well, to be honest, we are $1.1 trillion in buying power. But we're not fueling that buying power back into our communities. But we spent it elsewhere. We keep everyone else richer than us. If you look within our communities, you'll see gas stations owned by people of other races. You'll see the hair store is owned by another race. You rarely see Black people owning anything in our communities. And if they do, it's so hard for them to replicate that business model anywhere else because they're not getting the same opportunities as any other race. And one of our biggest obstacles is the fact that we're not united. We don't stand together. We don't stand for each other. And although we can stand outside and protest, some of us just want a reason to go outside to loot. We really are not standing out there because we actually want to be out there for the justice of Floyd. And we can say what we want to say with our mouths, but until we take action, people can say anything. And protesting is not going to get us where we need to be. We need to join together. We need to become unified. And until we do that, we're just merely making fun of everyone that has came before us that stood for some kind of justice within a system that is already fractured by its origin. We had no representation when the Constitution was being written. So how can we now say that this same system can defend us, or that we are going to get justice from this system that was never written for us? This was written for people who came in and took what wasn't theirs. History shows us that they take everything by force. And I'm not saying this is all white people, but the majority has taken everything that they have by force in every single country that they have colonized. So why is it that we're only protesting? What do you think protesting is going to get us? Justice? Did it get us justice for Trayvon Martin? Because the last time I checked, Zimmerman didn't go to jail. And for any of the boys that were killed, is it that we only take the money and then diffuse the situation by saying that we're okay and we're all right with what took place? Because what people don't know is that all of those families that have received, or their family members got killed by the police, they received money. That's what a lot of people don't know. Even Martin Luther King family received money because they proved that the federal government assassinated him. A lot of people do not know that. And all I'm saying is that fingers cannot make a fist. Well, fingers can make a fist, but a finger can't throw a punch. That's what I meant to say. How are we going to change the dynamic of a race? Are you ready to start your business within a country that will flourish and support you? Are you ready to take what belongs to you? As long as Black people are spread out all over the country and all over the world, and not united because we are divided by nationality and religion, we're always going to be the victims of the superior people who have one God, and they have combined their efforts to make sure no other race can do to them what they do to everyone else. It's only by force that we're going to get back what is ours. The great Marcus Garvey said that if we don't begin to unite and form an allegiance to each other, an alliance to make sure that we are good, we will be an extinct race. And if we continue to go the way we're going, it will be a race war. And once a civil race war breaks out in America, we are not the majority. 14% is not going to get us the victory that we desire. We need to all band together and start fueling ourselves within our community. And we need to go back to Africa, because in order for us to ever flourish or get anywhere, we need to go back to where we came from. We need to learn our history before slavery. We need to remember who we are. But if we stand divided, we will fall divided. You cannot expect change without first initiating the change within yourself. There's a great African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy without can do us no harm. And the enemy without is doing a lot of harm to us. And you will not stop seeing the execution of Black men if you don't get up and decide that we need to come together. It's either we join forces now, or we cry later. We mourn over dead bodies dropping in the streets, because eventually that is what will happen. Thank you for listening. This is your girl, Sakina K. Golding. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.